Next season's Premier League title race is looking juicy. Arsenal making big moves in the transfer market. Liverpool smashed their transfer record on Florian Wirtz. And Man City, I thought, had turned a corner. I was tweeting every single week that City were back, losing to Al Hilal in the Club World Cup. Is that a sign of things to come? I'm going to be completely real and spoil the video. I think we're going to end next season in a 3-horse title race to the highest standards. Honestly, I think it's going to be so close. It's going to be so dramatic. I think all three sides have got outstanding footballers. If you take away maybe Barcelona, Real Madrid, I think the top 5 sides in Europe next season, in terms of how good the squad is, will be Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, and then you throw in the 2 Spanish sides, and Bayern Munich aren't better than those 5 that I've just said, 100%. So let's just talk about each side going into what is a very, very juicy campaign. We had to start off with Liverpool because ultimately they're a side that are going into, it's almost like a bonus season. Liverpool were not expected to win the Premier League as quickly, as easy as they did with Arne Slot last season. So what they do this season, it feels like a bonus. It feels like he's given himself time. This season can almost be playing to his strengths, feeding it into Salah, keeping it simple, and then blooding in the likes of Florian Wirtz for a long-term view as well. He's brought some exceptional young players. You're talking Kerkez, Frimpong. These players would change Man City. These players would change Real Madrid. They would. And Florian Wirtz as well. It's outstanding. It's going to be a concern for Arsenal and City that every week Salah's fit and available, he will be scoring goals. I can't say quite in the same way about Erling Haaland. I think he'll just be just behind. And I don't know about Arsenal at the moment. We'll talk about them in a minute. But whatever you say about Liverpool, whether you think they need an extra defensive midfielder, whether they need extra backup in the centre-back position, whether Kerkez can settle at one of the biggest clubs in world football, which I don't think is a big doubt by anyone's standards. Same with Frimpong. He's brand new to the league on some level. The real question mark would be, how can you stop this Liverpool machine just playing it safe, giving it to Salah and letting him be exceptional? And that would be the big concern for rival sides, because I think Salah's level is at top 3, top 4 footballers in the world, and he's going again. The biggest signing for Liverpool this summer was the contract extensions halfway through the season last season. I mean, it's outstanding. Then you're talking about Virgil van Dijk, who might also be in that top 4, top 5 total footballer category right now in the world. I think he's the best centre-back in the world. So I think Liverpool can lean on their talent. They can lean on their experience. And I think they have a sporting ambition that is bigger than the club. They've never retained the Premier League. I think it matters. I think you want to be a side that isn't just a one-season wonder. I'm never saying Liverpool have been, but they've only ever won 1 Premier League title before last season. Then they lost it again straight back to Man City. Can they do it twice in a row? I think there's a big, big possibility. The more I'm talking about it, the more concerned I am. I'm going to be completely real. My concern for Liverpool would be the defensive midfielder position. At points last season, particularly in the PSG game, particularly in the Newcastle game, you could find little bits of space behind Gravenberch, little bits of space behind McAllister. They were both the 2 best midfielders in the league last season. But I think at the highest level, I'm talking about Rodri, I'm talking about Kante, I'm talking about big ball winners. Zubimendi's gone in at Arsenal. The defensive midfielder position hasn't quite been settled since Fabinho left, maybe even Jordan Henderson, and it was settled with a 2-man approach with Szoboszlai pressing high as well, kind of covering a lot of ground. But that intuitive Claude Makelele type figure that they actually did try to address in the transfer market a couple of seasons ago with Lavia, with Caicedo, bids that obviously failed. I still think they could do with someone that is a bit like Endo in the squad, but younger and better than Endo, because I don't think Endo's got full 90 minutes in him at the highest level. I don't think he's a world-class midfielder. You're talking about the likes of Tchouameni at Real Madrid, these kind of ball-winning midfielders at the highest level. I don't know if Liverpool have that. Maybe it's someone like Curtis Jones. I mean, we've seen Gravenberch be put back into a deeper position from Arne Slot. Maybe he's got a role for Curtis Jones as more of a ball winner in that midfield. That could be an interesting thing, particularly with Florian Wirtz, who isn't bad off the ball, but of course he's not a ball winner. He wants to be higher up the pitch as well. That's the one thing to consider for the title race next season. I think for me would still be the defensive midfielder position for Liverpool. They'll get by with Salah. They'll get by with Virgil van Dijk. Then they've got the bonus of these unbelievable new signings. defensive midfielder position for me is the one thing to think about. The Lawnmower 5.0 from Manscaped is now available across the UK. And if you type in Buvey onto their website, you get a massive 15% off. It's in a brand new colorway. It's the white hot colorway from Manscaped. And ultimately, their technology is absolutely outstanding. It's so much better than some of these cheap trimmers. Manscaped give you skin-safe technology. It glides over your skin. It causes far less irritation, far less redness. It allows you to do your grooming super quick, super efficient, in and out. And you can look good doing it. The blades are absolutely outstanding compared to those cheap trimmers. This one is smooth, it's seamless, it's an outstanding performance, it's durable as well, and it feels so good in your hand. It looks good as well, the design. White and gold, perfect for the summer. It's simple, effective. For whatever kind of daily routine you've got, the Lawnmower 5.0 in white hot will fit into your schedule. We have to talk about Arsenal. I think they're going to go for it. They've been in and around the Premier League title push for 3 years now. It's going to be a bit of a meme on Twitter if they come second again next season. There's a big chance that happens, by the way, which I think would be unprecedented in English football to come as second as many times as they have done in a row. I think they're a lot closer. I'm talking in terms that Gyökeres has signed. Obviously, as I record this video, it's not quite there yet. But I think if Gyökeres signs, I think he's got the ability to score 30 league goals. Seriously. I'm not saying he's the best striker in the world right now. I think he's got room to grow at Champions League level, international level. He still bangs goals. So I'm a bit bored of people talking about the Portuguese league where he still scores 50-odd goals in a year. It's absolutely outstanding. But I'm thinking Saka, who I think is probably a world-class footballer. I'm thinking Eze. I'm thinking Odegaard, feeding this guy balls. Suddenly, he's a striker that's getting, let's just call it 20. I think it's fair to say you can score 20 Premier League goals next season quite easily with the amount of service and opportunities and chances that the Arsenal midfield and wingers will provide. If Moreno can get, 8 goals or 7 goals last season, if Havertz can be notched up 15, I mean, it's outstanding because they're such rubbish footballers, but Gyökeres isn't. So I think they've got that natural goal scorer. Salah's been there for 7 years, notching up, got easy goals. Haaland, easy goals. Aguero at points, Sterling in those title-winning sides, easy tapping goals. Gyökeres will get that for a side that will dominate 85-90% of their games next season. I've talked about Eze on this channel before, but I think Eze will be a huge addition. They need more than Odegaard. If Odegaard shows up, the whole football club of Arsenal can't rely on if Odegaard shows up because he does go flat. He does go a little bit physically. He feels a physically small specimen at points. When he hasn't got his chest out and he's confident, he's taking the ball, taking big risks with the ball. He does feel a little bit lightweight. And that's down to maybe the amount of games he's playing, a lot of focus on him. A lot of the Arsenal side is built around him and his creativity. Eze, maybe Rodrigo as well. Suddenly it just dissipates and he can be a special player. It may be more of a focused part of the season. Then you talk about Saliba. David Raya was an outstanding keeper last year. Skelly in his second real full season. Timber right back as well with Gabriel on a brand new contract. Suddenly they've got one of the best defences in Europe and an outstanding 6 or 7 or 8 options in the front 6 that can devastate sides. So I think Arsenal look very, very strong. The one thing that would be a weakness would be their mentality. I think it's really hard going again when you come second. You can bounce back maybe the year after or maybe the year after that, but to go again and again and again, coming second to a side that just usurped you out of nowhere in terms of Liverpool, I think that would be a big concern for Arsenal. They're going to have to change something going into this season, I think, in terms of their mentality, how they approach big games. I think the throw-in stuff seems a little bit tin pot. I think less of a focus on this guy on the touchline, telling them how to throw the ball in. More Arsenal pizzazz, more Arsenal from the 90s, more early Arsene Wenger, more kind of street football, 1-2 touch, a bit of skill, a bit of cinema. And I think Arsenal will get the stadium rocking. They're less. I mean, the Arsenal fans were so scared in the stadium when they played PSG. You could hear a pin drop, and that's down to the atmosphere that Arteta's created in terms of not wanting to lose a game before winning it. Classic Arsenal is bombarding the side, being too good for the opposition and going to win it. I think they'll have a good go at winning the Premier League next season. And now Man City. I think Man City look very, very good. I'm very gassed with Cherki coming in, particularly for the price as well. £30 million is outstanding business. Rodri coming back. If he comes back to 80% of his level, then City have got a real chance. obviously picked up a knock against Al Hilal. Hopefully that isn't too much of an issue. But there is also a world where, if Rodri has issues with injuries throughout the season, God forbid, then Reinders comes in. I think Reinders is more than good enough to come in and settle and be a strong defensive midfielder situation for City. Nico Gonzalez is a little bit of an interesting one. Not trusted by Pep. Wants to be sold by, I think, the club, from my understanding, which feels like a little bit of a... Yeah, it feels a bit of a shame because he's a young kid. He wasn't bad when he first came in. I think he lacks a little bit of the mobility you need in that role. You think of Fabinho's legs. You think about Kante's legs. Has Nico Gonzalez got it? I'm not so sure in that regard. Reinders does. In a different kind of way, and Rodri did before the injury. We don't know what's going to happen in that regard. It would be harsh to sell a player as soon as you bring him in. It would be very harsh and almost a waste of money because I don't think you're going to get £50 million back for him. But ultimately, City have got so much strength beyond that. Haaland back to his best. Phil Foden looked good in the Club World Cup. A fresher squad dynamic that obviously won't feature Jack Grealish, who's a serial winner. He's one of the most underrated footballers in the world. But I think if there have been issues in the changing room and there has been issues with training, getting rid of that and having more of a clean focus could be a great dynamic for Man City. Oscar Bob as well coming back to a full season will be big. The big thing for City will always be the back line. It's really capitulated in the last few years. Ruben Diaz has always been outstanding, but we don't know about Gvardiol as a left back. Then he comes into centre back. Really, this will be his first full season starting as a centre back alongside Ruben Diaz. John Stones' injuries, Akanji's form, Ake's injuries, Ederson's form, and a few injuries. It's concerning. I think there needs to be a new goalkeeper, unless you just trust Ortega, which I don't think the club does necessarily, or Guardiola. The back line has to improve, whether that's a signing or whether that's just more of a focus on who is in the back four, who's your right back option. Is it Livramento coming in? Who's the left back? Where's Rico Lewis? Is he fitting in? Is it Diaz with anyone? Is it Diaz and Gvardiol 100%? You mix and match Mateus Nunes on the right. I don't really want to see Mateus Nunes at right back. So those would be the weaknesses for Man City. And I do feel that actually Liverpool's side are far more balanced than City. And I think Arsenal, with that Gyökeres bounce, could actually finish above City as well. If I had to do it early, I think Liverpool could come first with Arsenal and City second and third. It could be a bit of a mirror of what happened last season. Leave your predictions down below, some early title race chat. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon.